Shocking new video has been released from the cell phone of the ICE agent who shot Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis.
No!
Illegal migrant in Minnesota last year after his arm was trapped inside the vehicle during a traffic stop, the Post can reveal.
It is a shocking video at the center of a national conversation. An ICE agent shooting and killing a civilian in the middle of a Minneapolis street. Now, over the last 24 hours, Americans have hit the streets to voice their outrage and call for accountability. You're looking at videos from protests in every corner of the country, from New York to Seattle, Southern California to Central Florida, and all across the Midwest. In fact, we even had our own small demonstration in downtown Detroit with larger protests scheduled for Friday and Saturday. That's not where the story ends.
No.
And so what do you make of what's going to happen here as we want to show you this next clip? We're going to play a clip for you full screen of an encounter that happened just a few minutes later. So take a close look at this.
Okay.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician!
I don't care!
We understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second.
We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they?
Medics.
Where are they?
All right, right there, you're hearing from concerned bystanders, including a doctor, as Renee Good lays motionless in the driver's seat of the car. That doctor was basically denied access to the victim. Ambulances got there just a few minutes later, but according to our Minneapolis Fox station there, ICE vehicles blocked ambulances from actually reaching the scene. And finally, 15 minutes later, agents carried her limp body to paramedics. She didn't die there at the scene. She died at the hospital, but nonetheless, time was lost there. Now, a lot of people are actually pointing to this moment as another big problem in how the first aid element was actually handled or not handled. When it comes to deadly force, the guidelines read like this. Officers may use deadly force only when necessary. That is when the officer has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury to the officer or another person. Deadly force shall not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing subject. Now, on the very next page of the guidelines, there is a specific subsection having to do with vehicles, and it reads this. Officers are prohibited from discharging firearms at the operator of a moving vehicle unless the use of deadly force against the operator is justified under the standards articulated elsewhere in this policy. And when it comes to first aid, this is important. You just heard Steve talk about that. Why? Well, the policy reads, as soon as practicable following a use of force and the end of any perceived public safety threat, officers shall obtain appropriate medical assistance for any subject who has visible or apparent injuries. This may include rendering first aid, requesting emergency medical services, and/or arranging transportation to an appropriate medical facility. But here's the thing. If you go to ICE's website tonight to look at those same use of force policies, this is what you find. You're greeted with this. 13 pages of blacked out, redacted material with a reference code B7E, which is specific redaction code indicating the information is relevant to ongoing criminal investigations. Tonight, we reached out to both DHS and ICE for comment. DHS says the agency's policy has not changed since 2023. ICE did not respond.
An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased.
37-year-old Renee Nicole Good was revealed to have been part of a group of activists who worked to, quote, document and resist the federal immigration crackdown in Minnesota. Good and her wife, Rebecca, age 40, were raising a 6-year-old boy together in the mostly working-class, activist-heavy neighborhood of South Minneapolis.